I've said it many times over the last few weeks, and I'm going to say it again. I'm sure we all remember the old, little cartoon or meme or whatever it was, wherever it originated. I never thought leopards would eat my face, says the guy who voted for the leopards eating people's faces party. And that is probably something I'm going to have to repeat, apparently on a weekly basis, for the next 4 years. Because every couple days there is a new story about these people who voted for Donald Trump who are now saying, well, wait a minute, I'm about to get screwed by the very things he said he was going to do during the campaign, but I didn't think he was actually going to do it. It's literally the meme. I didn't think leopards would eat my face. And they are. They're feasting. And now these people are absolutely panicking. They've done it about the tariffs. They've done it about the mass deportations. They've done it about his, attempts to expand the U.S., his clawing back his promise about lowering prices. They're afraid of inflation. They're afraid of all of these things that, for his, to his credit, he was very transparent about it. I mean, Donald Trump is a horrible liar, lies about crap every day. Just look at his Truth Social feed. But when it comes to the horrible things he wanted to do in office, he didn't lie about them. He told you straight up, I'm going to do these things. And now, after the fact, after y'all voted for him, you're like, well, I mean, I knew he said he was going to do it, but I didn't know that meant he was going to do it. But because he said he was, but usually, I don't know. I just don't know. The latest one has to do with education. This is so... I don't know how I feel about this, because I want to laugh at these people. I want to tell them that they deserve every horrible thing that's coming to them, but I'm still not that evil of a person, and I do have a little bit of sympathy for them, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to last much longer. But here's what Tom Gambrell, the superintendent of Bell County, Kentucky, he said he joined most of his neighbors and cast his vote for Trump with his students in mind, but he told CNN that he hopes the president-elect doesn't carry through with his plan to cut federal education funding. I don't think that anyone in our county wants to cut our school funding, and I don't think that anyone voted for that. Oh, you did. You did vote for that. Donald Trump, again, crystal clear, very transparent about the fact that he wants to get rid of the U.S. Department of Education. If we get rid of the U.S. Department of Education, we cut federal funding for our public schools. And as a school superintendent, you should have known that. So to sit there and be like, I don't think any of us voted for that. You absolutely voted for that. Cutting the Department of Education at the federal level is going to kill education here in the United States. We have states, your home state of Kentucky is a great example. Y'all ain't got money to pay for public schools. You're broke. I look around at the states around me. I'm in Florida, but I'm a stone's throw away from Alabama. Alabama is so broke that the United Nations a couple years ago, after touring the state, said that the poverty levels in Alabama are on par with third world nations, with many families living on less than $2 per day. You going to tell me that Alabama has the money to pay for their public school system? That Mississippi does? That Arkansas does? No, these are states that are running massive deficits because they don't have the money to do it. And if we give them the federal money to do it, instead of going through the Department of Education, we just hand them a check every year. What are they going to do with the check? Well, I can promise you it's not going to go towards education. It's going to go to other vital things in the state that they also can't afford. Oh, but we'll put strings on it. It won't matter. It won't matter. They'll do whatever the hell they want to do with the money. And people like Mr. Gambrell here are going to watch his fellow teachers who also voted for Donald Trump get laid off because they can't afford it. They can't afford to keep these people on staff. And let me tell you, this is not just limited to, Bell County, Kentucky. This is something that I've dealt with for several weeks now personally in my own home. My wife, who is an educator, has come home several times and asked me flat out, she's like, hey, I've got a lot of my teacher friends and some of them definitely voted for Donald Trump. They still love him, but they're asking me what happens if he gets rid of the Department of Education. They're terrified. They're worried, she says, about losing their jobs. And again, these people voted for Trump. They are die-hard Republicans. And this is happening in other parts of the country too, not just in Kentucky, not just, with my wife's school. It's happening all over. And every time the people doing the most panicking are the people who put this idiot back in office. Let me read you this. This is from Will Ragland, the vice president of the Center for American Progress. This is one of these cases where Republican policies are stabbing their base right in the heart and will directly impact their kids. Because that's how it goes. And that's what, again, I've been talking about for weeks now. The people that are going to get screwed over hardest by Donald Trump's policies are the very people that put him back in office. And I do think a lot of them are waking up to that fact. But you woke up too late. You missed the alarm. So it doesn't matter. You did the damage. Damage that can't be undone. He was open about the horrible things he wanted to do. Again, as I've said, Trump is a massive liar. But on these issues, he was actually honest. He was telling you the truth. He told you what he was going to do. And you voted for him anyway. Don't stick your arm in the bear trap, folks. We were telling you for months, and you're like, screw you, liberals. I'm going to stick my arm in there. Ain't nothing going to happen. Oh my God, my arm's stuck in a bear trap. Why didn't anybody tell me this? We did. You chose to not listen because you thought we were just being a-holes. You thought we were just suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Well, we're not the sick ones. We're not the ones who are going to lose everything when Donald Trump starts implementing these policies. Oh, we'll be impacted too. But the red states, based on every available analysis, will not only be hit hardest, but they will be hit first. You, unfortunately, will have to learn the hard way that there are consequences to your votes. There are consequences to not educating yourself about what the proposed policies of the candidates would do to you personally, specifically. But y'all didn't care about that. No, y'all just wanted to make sure that them transgenders couldn't play in sports. You wanted to make sure them men weren't going to be going in the women's rooms, right? That's what was important to you. Well, get back with me at the end of this year, and let's see how important that is to you when you can't afford groceries anymore. Thanks for watching.